All right, well, welcome back to the channel. This is Conversations with the Crawleys. My name's Kevin.
My name is Tarsha.
And we're the Crawleys, and we are talking right now about one of our favorite shows, Ready to Love on the Oprah Network. This is, the second episode of them dating, third episode if you count the whole
intro
casting special. So now we've gotten rid of two guys.
Yes.
And now it's the guys have the power now. So if this is content that you like, content that you enjoy, make sure that you are hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, and request notifications. That way you are here for every time that we go, that we upload one of these videos. You are here. Make sure you're also in the comments, because we appreciate all of your comments and we respond to your comments. We love to hear what you guys have to say and converse with you there. All right. All right. So we start off with, again, there's a brunch, right?
Right.
And so Tommy's like, I'm throwing curveballs this season. The first curveball he threw was bringing Chris back, right? Bringing KG back.
Yes.
So now we've got another curveball, which is after this brunch, somebody going home.
Right.
All right. So that, of course, puts, I think, a lot of the ladies on edge. They're kind of like, okay, I got to get in.
I got to mingle. I got to get around.
Yeah.
Got to meet these guys. They got to like me. I got to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So Ida was making her rounds.
Ida was making her rounds, sitting on laps, stepping on toes, doing everything Ida does, right?
Right.
And, but even before that, there was a lot of different interactions that were there. Mm-hmm. KG and Amber seem to have a good vibe that I picked up on. Right. They seem to have a good little conversation there. And so what I really appreciate about KG this time is that he is not locked into one person.
No, he is moving around. He's trying to get
Yeah.
He's learned.
Yeah.
I hope from the conversations he has with the other women that he doesn't talk a lot about the past season.
Right.
He's going to have to remind himself that the ladies are here to find love. He's here to find love and focus on what he's doing in the current, be in the moment, and leave that in the past.
Right, because the challenge with that is that if you keep bringing up what happened last season, then it's like, well, I watched how you moved last season, so I'm just going to judge you based off of that as opposed to who you actually are in front of me. So, so good to see KG and Amber kind of getting that little vibe going on. Andrea comes off a little introverted.
Yeah, it's difficult, right? You have a lot of women. You're trying to mingle. You're trying to connect, and just trying to be, put yourself out there.
Right.
And for some people, that's hard. No, I mean, she's a nice young lady.
Right.
So, hey, if you don't do it now, you won't get it done.
And that's the challenge with this type of environment and this type of show, is that because it's not like you're locked in on one person.
Right.
You have to kind of figure out ways to stand out.
Right.
You have to figure out ways to kind of make yourself be memorable.
Right. And also, I think you have to say something that's going to be, I think you just got to be vulnerable and just like, hey, like I've been dating every guy for a month and a half.
Right.
And just kind of take it that way.
Because now, was she the one last week that was talking about the cat? Was that her?
I believe so. If I remember
correctly. That was
correctly.
her, yes. She was talking about her cat was missing.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Again, like you can't be the cat lady.
Yeah. It was just like.
When you're just caught off guard. And again, she doesn't talk about, doesn't date much because she's a flight attendant.
Right.
So if you're not finding moments to have dates, then hey.
And then, speaking of somebody that did kind of make themselves memorable, her entrance, first of all, last week, her entrance where she almost fell coming out of the car, Ida.
That's Ida, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, she's memorable because she's a little crazy.
So, you keep saying that. She was just kind of different.
Okay. Just as a reminder, Ida was the one last week who said that her family calls her Vicky because of a show that she loved to watch.
You mentioned that, yes. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, keep moving.
Listen, I'm just saying. But she's creepy. To me, she's kind of creepy. She
seemed fine to me. She's okay.
Well, she ain't make it. So I can say that. I called it last week, did I not? If you watched last week's review, I called it. She was a little out there. I knew
Yes.
she was going to be going home.
Yes.
All right. Now, who are you thinking about?
Who were I?
Because when I said memorable, you were thinking about somebody else.
I was thinking about the man, Troy. He's making himself memorable. He's putting his lips on anything that moves.
Yes.
Troy needs to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, even Uncle Tommy was like, all right, Troy, you're in a room of 10 women. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be kissing on half of them.
Right.
And all the men on their face, they're not saying anything, but they even know, like,
they are
Troy,
picking up on it.
You need to slow yourself down, dude.
Right.
You know, you don't want to come off having a harassment suit.
Right.
He got harassment written all over his forehead.
Right. Because at the brunch, he starts off with the whole, oh, you're my number one. Oh, you're my number one. Oh, you're my number one. Oh, I'm going to take you here. I'm going to take you there.
See, that didn't work out for that one of the other dudes who were doing that.
Right.
That's because
so,
women talk, y'all all.
Right. It's not like you going around to different cities talking
parts
about
of Houston.
One. Right. They all meeting together. They all gonna be in Tommy's lounge together.
Right. Talking about you kissing up on them. Calling and said, well, he said I was his number one. Right. No, he told me last night I was his woman.
Right.
His strategy's not gonna work.
So at the end of the brunch, Ida is the one that gets sent home.
Ida gets sent home at the end of the brunch.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the end of the brunch, she got sent home. And then we start to see some dates happening, right? Yes.
And they're being a little bit more strategic with these dates. They're doing a lot of group dates at the beginning, which is good.
Yeah. Now, the first date that we do see is AJ and Alexis.
Yes.
And so AJ is the guy who's the music producer.
Right.
Alexis is the one that she says they call her Fly.
Right.
I get a little suspicious when people tell you this is what people call me. I get a little... Yeah. Either you are or you aren't, right?
Right. And I don't think you have to broadcast that, right? You know, and again, you come off a little arrogant, you know, so I feel like she may be a little bit overconfident. I mean,
yeah.
So, I mean, she looks okay. I wouldn't, in my opinion, obviously I'm a woman, I don't feel like she's just like she's not I hate to say we're overly beautiful.
She's not basic, but she's not stunning.
That's the word, stunning. She doesn't give me that stunning vibe.
She's not a basic looking woman. Right. But she's also not someone that is like, she walks into the room and everybody's like, yeah. Right.
So, yeah. So, you know, her interaction with AJ's like at a point in his life where he's like, I've done it,
right?
And I've done it at all. So now I really want to focus on making sure I'm balancing my attraction with personality. Where for Miss Alexis, I think her being married to a pastor maybe only been missionary. So we're having a rebirth for Miss Alexis in this coming season. And maybe that's why she's a little bit more aggressive.
She needed a little aggressive.
Well, I don't know what she was before. Aggressive. So she's aggressive, you know, with her, you know, the sexy talk and everything.
There's a flirting to be done.
There is a flirting.
But it's like, and of course, everything is as far as they're editing and putting the videos together, right?
Sure.
But it seems like if I can find that many clips to put together, of you making comments that are just of a sexual nature, then you're saying it a lot,
right?
And that, you know, and for this to be a first date, of someone that you're not necessarily committed to, and don't know that you don't know how he necessarily feels. Again, it's a first date, so it can be, and he kind of talks about it, it's kind of a turnoff at some point. It's like, okay, I get it, you're attracted to me, cool, but who are you?
Who are you? And I think so, especially if they're saying, hey, I'm here ready for love and I'm not just ready for sex, because he was like, I mean, we could be hot and we could do that, but that's not what I'm here for this. And I think that's where maybe the disconnect is when he talked to her, when they had their date.
Yeah. And then Jason and Kyra went on dates. So Jason he's a teacher now, but he's the former basketball player.
He's a teacher, but he also coaches on the side. So he had a really good conversation with
Kyra.
With Kyra,
who's a lawyer, right?
Who's a lawyer. So he felt like he was vulnerable enough to talk about depression and going to counseling, which was great because she's like, "Is this going to be a red flag, or did he do the work?"
Right.
And that was important. And so I think he felt comfortable. And he's like, I'm looking at her response, and she's responding well that I put in the work because of where I was.
And I think it's good that, especially where we are just as a people right now, to be able to have conversations about mental health issues.
Yes, where it's
and not feel like it's shunned. I'm going to be shunned or put to the back,
or told that you're labeled crazy or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And because I think that the fact that you recognize what may be a concern and do the work. That I think is something that, especially because Kyra kind of mentioned that, she's like, okay, that's kind of like what was kind of attracting to her as well, because he's opening up, he's being vulnerable. Yes. Right.
Yeah. He seemed like a good guy.
Yeah. And then we've got first of, kind of like you were talking, the first of multiple or group dates, basically, right? So you had, looks like Joel, David, Troy going out with Amber, Vernisha, Liz, and Andrea. So 3 on 4, right?
Right.
And so Joel is connecting with Liz, it looks like.
Yes.
However, what I can appreciate about Joel, because Joel also checked in with Vernisha, and she's attracted to him, right?
And he's attracted to her.
Right.
So in that case, right, he's already shown interest in 2 people, but he's being accommodating to both.
Right.
And being respectful.
And you got to do that in this environment.
You do. Opposite of what Troy's doing. So, but he's a good Southern boy, right?
He got that Louisiana swag, right? That New Orleans swag.
Right. And he was married before. So when you've been married before, you kind of understand. I would feel like a man would understand a woman more because you've been married.
Right.
You spend time. You've had kids. So you understand what a woman needs, some type of attention. Even if it's a smile, like, I see you still.
Right.
I'm just not ignoring you and then moved on.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. Now, Troy, on the other hand, is very grabby, very handsy, very cringy.
Yes. That's a good word, cringy.
He's very cringy.
So, So, we'll see how long he lasts.
Yeah, because he made this statement, and we rewound it because I was like, did he just say that? He told Andrea, because, they were talking about trips and vacations. And there was something that was going on with her bra, that he was touching her bra or something like that. Which, listen, again, first date.
You ain't going to be on my bra. You ain't finding locations like he's like on a GPS.
Listen.
No, boo. Keep your hands off.
Then he was like, we can conceive our first child on this trip, whatever.
She was like,
and Amber was like, okay, because Amber was feeling him.
Right.
Right? Amber.
Right. Originally
she was feeling him, but this has been a turnoff.
Right, because he don't know when to stop. He thinks, oh, women love this. No, that's why you're not the greatest catch.
But again, according to him, he's the best catch in Houston, right? My prediction, I'm gonna just say it right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think that he will be gone next episode.
Pretty soon.
I think the ladies are looking at that and like, look, you kissing on everybody. You're too handsy.
Hey, they're already calling him out. Look like,
yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be the next episode that happens.
And again, when guys recognize that, you're like,
yeah, and they laughing,
too much,
like,
right,
bro?
All right, and then there's another big date,
right,
of Derek, Alexis, KG, Kyra. Listen,
we'll just
say the rest of them. There's a bunch of others that go on the date, right?
I felt like they were on The Bachelor for a minute. You know when they going on
the group date?
Yes, it'd be like 20 women. I was like, what in the world on a group date?
But I guess in the age of COVID, I guess that it makes sense to kind of put those dates together and rotate around a little, right?
Right. And if this is with them planning on their own, it makes sense at the beginning.
Right.
Because like you said, it saves time than you doing like 15 individual dates with 10 women.
Right.
Let's all go on a group date. I can see how that person is with this person.
Yes.
Because even though I may be a little bit different with you, who you are is going to come out and who you meet. And you want to know how people respond to other people.
Exactly. So now of that, in this date though, there's a couple of things that come out. So Diedrich, the chef, who Tressa calls him Paw Paw because I think he's a grandfather.
He is a grandfather.
Okay. So he had said originally that he was not necessarily attracted to fuller figured women.
Correct.
Right. That's not his preference.
Right. He's not right. It was at one time, but now okay.
But after having a conversation with her,
right,
and a real adult grown conversation,
right,
not just a fluff conversation,
right, like he said, several conversations they've had, a couple talks, yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm feeling her vibe. There's some attraction there, and so he asked her out on a date. Now on her side, she's like, but I thought that you weren't attracted to me, so
right.
She's recognizing, okay, you got to be attracted to me in order to for us to move forward,
right? And I get her apprehension, but at the same time, hey, you're in,
right?
So stop overthinking it,
right?
So if some people are thinking they're getting the homie vibe, it's because you're just overthinking. Right. Enjoy that I'm a great catch, no matter if I'm a little thick or not.
Right.
That I'm a great person. And I think she's going to have to show the self-confidence that she needs to really put herself out there, that men are they want me. And I think I think that's what's going to get her out of that, because you couldn't really
because we were talking about what is it, because
what's the homie vibe?
Well, the homie vibe is really just, I feel like we're just friends. That's all I get from you, is that we're friends, right? And so it's hard to quantify and qualify and say this is what makes you into homie versus romance. It's really just, how do I feel as far as our conversations? How do I feel? One of the things that I think is in Tressa's advantage is that men love confident women. And so, we see where confident and not, and there's a difference between being confident and being stuck up or being arrogant, right? Confident, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you have a conversation, all of those things. Those are things that men can be drawn to and attracted to, even outside of the physical, right? Yes, as men, we are visual creatures, right? We like to see what we see. However, all the great things as far as seeing what we see means nothing if I can't have a conversation with you. It means nothing if we can't really vibe, right? So I think that what she has going for her is that, even for those that may have written her off because of her physical, her size, what have you, or shape, what have you, that her personality still, when they get to know her, opens up doors. Right.
Yeah, so I think she has a great opportunity here. There's a couple guys that really like her, and like is it Diedrich stated, he's like, everyone has good things to say about you. So it's like, how can she just turn that up a notch and really get in there?
Yeah. So at the end, as far as the episode, and then Stacy was sitting with KG and having a conversation.
Yes.
And then she just kind of went over for Diedrich. So
I think she just wasn't feeling him. Right. But again, there's always a way to do that, right? So if you're not feeling someone, but there's a way to try to end the conversation.
Exactly.
Like, it was great talking to you, blah, blah, blah. Or he could have been feeling her and she was just like, I'm really not feeling it, Right. But again, there's a way to try to figure that out.
Yeah. So, of course, the guys meet with Tommy. They kind of go through their top and their bottoms as far as who they're feeling, who they're not feeling.
Yes.
So at the end, what we find is that Andrea was not ready for love.
She was not ready for love.
Right?
Yes.
And I think she recognized that putting herself out there more.
Yeah, being more assertive would have helped her. In hindsight, it's always in hindsight, right? Exactly. Because she thought she was leaving during the brunch.
That's true.
So she kind of had an idea then. So, like, if you knew that at the brunch, when you started going on these other group dates, you needed to come out, like, with it.
Now, did you pick up on, because as we were watching it, one of the things that she said at the end when she was getting dismissed or told she wasn't ready to love, she was like, did everybody say that I wasn't ready to love?
Oh.
And she was like, interesting, right? Remember who was all over her?
Troy.
Right. So now I'm curious as to other things that may, as far as Troy and her. And so I'm just curious about that as well. Sure. Because in some respects, that may have been her way of putting herself out there more.
Oh, by kind of really feeding off of
Troy.
Gotcha.
So gotcha. I'm a little,
Yeah, that's the wrong person.
Yeah.
That's one of the type of guys I would.
Even David was like, we had a good conversation, and then it was just like we didn't talk anymore.
Right. And she was like, she's like, there was 4 other people I didn't meet. So who was she spending her time with the most if you didn't meet 4 other guys?
Right.
Because I'm going to be moving.
If you're ready to love.
If you're ready to love, you're moving.
What this is about, you moving.
I'm going to talk to you. Great conversation. If someone comes up, I'm sliding out. Let me meet someone else. Because, you're this is the first mixer.
Right.
So I should have at least 5-minute conversation.
Absolutely.
And moving around. Now, if I have a great conversation with someone else, wow, this is really a great conversation. Right. I want to be able to I'm going to tell them, I definitely want to pick this back up. But I definitely want to make sure I meet everybody else.
There shouldn't, because if you think about it, they had the full-on mixer.
Mm-hmm. They had a long time.
They had the brunch.
Right.
And then because she didn't get sent home at the brunch, she had the date that she had. It could have also set up other dates. Mm-hmm. So there were plenty of opportunities for her to have conversations with those 4 or 5 that she didn't have the conversation with. So sorry to see her go, but we'll see what happens.
Might see her on the airplane.
Might see it. Listen, we're doing a lot of traveling this summer. So,
okay.
So next week, of course, it switches over to where the ladies have the power.
Ladies have the power.
And I've already given my prediction. I think Troy is no longer
gone.
He needs to go. Listen, as a man, I'm just saying he's very cringy. He's just very.
Yeah. I wouldn't appreciate it, and I would let him know.
No. And when Tommy has to, even in the first time
they meet, dude,
look.
I need you to slow down.
So
half the women.
Yeah. All right. So listen, that's our thoughts on this episode. Let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, even as far as predictions. So far, I'm rocking pretty good. When I make a prediction, it's coming to pass. I told y'all Christian wasn't going to make it too far, and then I called Ida out loud. So we'll see if I can get a third one going with Troy. So let us know what you think in the comments or your thoughts. And again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and request notifications. Anything else you got to add?
No.
All right. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.